A little rivalry among players in all sports isn't exactly unheard of and can also be healthy. However, some NBA players really couldn't stand to be near each other, so much so that neither the press nor the fans could ignore it either. The NBA has most certainly had its fair share of drama throughout the years, and to commemorate that, here we have made a countdown of the 10 most scandalous feuds to make enemies out of your favorite NBA players. Before we get into it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get to it. Number 10, Deshaun Stevenson versus LeBron James. The bitterness between these two stars goes a long way back. The most notable period of this feud was back when LeBron was a part of Cleveland. Their feud began during James's debut session with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The two stars frequently had conflict. In 2008, the tension boiled over because they met on the court for the third year in a row. There was even a notorious diss track made by Jay-Z taking a shot at Stevenson. In the middle of the game, Stevenson went off and performed a blatant foul against James, almost sparking off a brawl between the two players. Even though this was all quite old, even today, Stevenson has gone on the record explaining why he wishes he didn't engage in this rivalry during the 2008 NBA playoffs, saying that as black men, we have to be able to come together and uplift each other. We both did the same things. Now that I look back as I'm older, it's like, basically, we were both making a fool of ourselves. Hey, we're glad that for once peace has prevailed and the two were able to shake hands and put aside their differences.
Yeah, area. It showed me so much love when I was down there. I had to get hyped on this one.
Number 9, Kobe Bryant versus Raja Bell. They really hated each other and didn't even try to hide it. Bell very publicly called Bryant out too, referring to him as a pompous, arrogant individual who somehow doesn't have to follow the rules like everyone else does. The reaction from Kobe was one of complete confusion, with him saying that he didn't even know who Bell was and may have said 1 or 2 words to him in his entire life. Now, the reason these two names are linked in the eyes of the public forever is the 2006 NBA playoffs. It was an iconic moment in NBA history. Number 8, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar versus Bill Russell. In this rivalry, both our stars are highly successful NBA stars, having earned many accolades and titles such as MVPs and other title championships. The two fiercely battled for superiority over the other for quite some time. Russell was done with his last season for the year after Abdul-Jabbar entered the scene. However, despite this, most fans have not been able to make out which of these two-star players is more worthy of the title. Number 7, Isaiah Thomas versus Michael Jordan. After a few really intense matches between the Bulls and the Pistons, it became obvious to everyone that these two really could not stand each other. There was even some controversy sparked that Jordan didn't even want to play on the same team as Thomas and would drop out if he found out that Thomas was on the same team. We think we can agree that the higher-ups did the right thing when it came to this one. Number 6, Kobe Bryant versus Shaquille O'Neal. Once again, Kobe Bryant has made it to our list. The basketball star's career has had its fair share of controversy and rivalry. No matter how hard they tried, they just could not get things to work out and play on the same team. When enough time had passed and O'Neal had taken too many passes at him through the press, Bryant really went all the way and described Shaq during his entry into camp as fat and out of shape. It was really all a lost cause after that one.
Similar to the late help on Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant gets into the paint. Help has to come, and it has to come quickly. It does not able to get by the body.
Number 5, Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing. Something many people don't know about these two famous opponents is that their beef actually goes all the way back to their time in college. Yep, they go way back. We're gonna have to say that Jordan is leading. Every single postseason match was completely taken by the Bulls when Jordan would be playing. On top of that, they also won 4 championship rings. Unlike most of the other players on this list, the beef between these two continues up to today in 2021. We are sure that defeating Michael Jordan on the court was the biggest moment of Ewing's career. The two had been friends since they were back in high school, a friendship that lasted 45 years. Pretty crazy. Now, recently in an interview, Ewing spoke up about his relationship with Michael Jordan. You know, it's funny, Michael and I are very good friends. As a matter of fact, he was the one who got me into coaching. Safe to say, these two definitely have a love-hate relationship.
Showcase his personality and his basketball skill. At the end of the day, we can't play basketball for him, but we feel like he does present us an opportunity to showcase his talents.
Number 4, Tony Parker and Brent Barry. Tony is a star player, a Spurs legend. However, some basketball fans will remember the time he was almost kicked off the team, but this had nothing to do with his behavior or playing skills. Out of all the stars we mentioned on this page, these two actually had a personal vendetta, and for good reason. Parker was married at the time to actress Eva Longoria, and a controversy was sparked that he was having an affair with Barry's wife. Now we're going to have to take Barry's side on this one, as this was a classic betrayal from a teammate. Plus, he was married to the very beautiful Eva Longoria at the time, and we really can't see why anyone would have an affair if they're married to one of the most beautiful actresses on the scene. Number 3, Dwight Howard and Steve Nash. Now this is going to be fun was the headline of their Sports Illustrated cover. Kobe, Howard, Nash were a big deal back in the day, the trio being a celebrity emblem of the NBA. However, Howard and Nash were often at loggerheads with each other, having disputes on and off the court. Nash had a press release in which he told the media that Howard never wanted to be a part of the Lakers. I think it kind of basically goes with what he said to the media, that he never quite felt embraced in LA. He never quite felt supported. That's basically it. I think in some ways you can read into that what you will, but I think he never quite felt comfortable at home, and I don't know if that's anybody's fault. Number 2, Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman. It'd be tough to find two people who play the game more differently than these two, and these differences have often showed. It mostly just made for a spectacular and interesting match, especially when the two met on the court during the Jazz vs Bulls game in the NBA Finals. Even though as usual all the spotlight was on Michael Jordan, these two made an engaging side plot. Things got so intense between them that they later on met outside the court in a wrestling ring in order to calm things down. No other dispute between any NBA star ever reached such a stage. It has also been reported that Malone wanted to be a wrestler as a kid, so we hope these two work their differences out in the ring.
With the glorious Bobby Roode, are you itching to get some more in-ring action maybe?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Number 1, Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. This is definitely one of, if not the most notorious feuds between teammates in the NBA. The two played together on the same team, the Los Angeles Lakers, from '96 to 2004. Most would say they made a pretty unmatchable team, having won not 1 or 2, but 3 NBA championships in a row. 3 years after they played in the same team, things began to settle down between the stars and they came to a truce. O'Neal hailed Bryant, saying that he deserved to be given the NBA MVP award. From 2008 onwards, the feud was coming to a slow and steady halt and things were looking friendly between the two. The entire blame for the feud was put on Phil Jackson by Shaq, who supposedly exaggerated it for extra attention from the media, and so the two were once again teamed up for the All-Star game. By 2012, the two were more than just alright with each other and actually friends. Shaq openly lauded Bryant's achievements to the media. Kobe also announced that the two are good now and called the whole decades-long feud a good learning experience. It seems like the two are willing to move forward and put their differences aside in the future, which most Laker fans were happy to see. Well, there you have it, our top 10 NBA players who absolutely cannot stand each other. We hope you enjoyed our content. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed our video. Leave a comment telling us which of these was your favorite and what celebrity feuds and other hot gossip you would like us to cover next. Until next time.